Hi, hello Yeti. Hi,
Hi, nice to finally meet
nice
you.
to nice to
Hi,
meet.
guys, can you hear us clearly?
Hello everyone.
Hello, hello, hello. Okay, fantastic. They can hear us. So, good evening, guys. My name is Yeti, like you all know, and today I have the CEO of Grammatorial Education Services with us, and she's going to be telling us everything you need to know about relocating to the UK with visa sponsorship as a carer. She is a beneficiary of this visa sponsorship herself. So she's not just telling you what she has read in the book, she's telling you practical steps of how she was also able to get sponsored job as a when it was not even so common to remain in the UK. So hi madam, I forgot
Hello,
your first name.
Laura.
Laura, nice to
Uh,
meet you. So please introduce yourself,
uh,
then we'll just
so,
roll into it.
yeah, so like I just said to Yeti, my name is Laura Kolawole and I'm the CEO of Grammatorial Education. He has rightly said, I am in a very fortunate position to be able to advise and help you along this journey, having passed through the tier two worker, visa myself, and having gone through the skilled worker route. At that time, it wasn't called skilled worker; it was called tier two worker. That was in 2000 and 2014, 2013, 14. It was called the skilled worker. It was called the tier two worker. So
Wow.
it was very difficult at that time. It was like really like gold. It's not now that you have so many, you know,
Companies with license to
so
sponsor.
many companies that have licenses. At that time, it was really digging into the unknown. I got two tier two sponsorship, two COSs at the same time. One was from a company that never knew anything about the visa or sponsorship. They never heard that word before. In fact, the first time I told the HR manager about sponsorship, she nearly panicked. She was like, Laura, how can we sponsor you? So I had to take my time to read through the UK Gov website, sent her screenshots, went through the whole process, guided them to get a license. So that company actually got their license because of me and sponsored me. And do you know the
Wow.
most interesting thing? As they were going through that process, I was of course applying for other jobs and I got a
Naija they carry
but
last.
after they got their license, of course, I have to choose what's in my best interest because
Exactly.
and they're going to choose what's in their best interest as well. And I said to them, you know what? I got a better offer. I'm so sorry, I have to go. Went through the 5 years route, and to God be the glory, went through the permanent residency. And of course, you know what happens after the ILRO is the British.
Citizenship.
So I'm here to share my journey. I'm here to help you. I am here to tell you how I invested in myself. So I don't know if you know yet, I'm also a pastor as well. And most times when I preach to people or when I share the word of God or share the word of faith and encourage people, I also let them know that faith without works is dead. If you like, you can pray from today till tomorrow. If you don't invest in yourself, if you don't work hard, the Bible says there is no food for a lazy man. He that does not work will not eat. If you don't put in the effort that you need to, the requisite effort, you're not going to get these things. These things don't land on a platter of gold. There is no shortcut to it. So I'm here tonight to share with you my success story by the grace of God, how I got this tier two visa when it was so difficult. Now it's easier. I see a lot of people on social media, on Yeti's Instagram saying or Telegram saying I've been applying for jobs, I've not gotten job, and I'm like, there's just something you're not doing right. So we are here to demystify the whole process and help you on this journey. So that's
Wow.
background about me.
So guys, you see that our speaker is loaded. Like, just write, bring out your pen and paper, take notes, because you will never remain the same as you have joined this live. I'm not a pastor, but
Uh,
trust me when I say that. Okay, so Laura,
yeah.
now we want to talk about health and care visa. Health and care. It's been everywhere, but the truth is, people just jump on the bandwagon, and not everyone really understands what this is all about. And then there are also some things you just see online, like it's to clean or you people don't go. So many things I've heard. So simplify what this means for us. Simplify what this career path is. Just explain it to us in the best possible way that a layman could understand.
Okay. Thank you very much, Yeti. I like your very pragmatic approach to these things. So, in layman terms, the health and care worker visa is a visa that allows employers in the UK, licensed employers to fill the shortage of healthcare workers in the health sector in the United Kingdom. So I'm sure you all know that the world suffered a pandemic, it's just coming out of a pandemic. So due to that pandemic, there has been a lot of job creation, job openings, and the health sector was one sector that really suffered, as a result of the pandemic. Care home staffs, really suffered. So there is a huge demand. There is a shortage of staff. There's a shortage of healthcare staff, from healthcare assistants to nurses, to nursing assistants, to doctors, to radiographers. Just call it what you may. There's a huge shortage of healthcare workers in many countries, many Western countries, and the UK is not left out. The Republic of Ireland is not left out. And so there's this job creation that has come out, and I just wish that as many people would really like Yeti said, it's not just to jump on the bandwagon. Oh, I saw Sister Kemi travel and she's now working as a healthcare worker, therefore I want to go. How did she go? What process? There's always a process that you need to follow. In life, there is a process. What is the process? What are the steps? What are the requirements? So that is what I am here to do, to demystify this visa. It's not something out of the ordinary. It's not something that should cost you so much, but it's something that with the right knowledge and requirements, you will surely be able to get it.
Okay, thank you for that. Now, I hope everybody understands what health and care visa is all about now. So, I am from, let me say, hypothetically, I do not have any health background. Well, it's not hypothetical in my case because I don't. But let's say hypothetically, everyone watching this video, they have no health, care or social care background. They are not a nurse, they are not a doctor. There's nothing like that, but this is an opportunity. We all know that Nigeria is a great country, not to say otherwise, and people just want the best for themselves. They want to move out, they want to relocate, they just want the best for their children, and they've heard about this health and care visa maybe on this live, but they don't have any health background. They study accounting, but they are very interested in relocating using this pathway. What would you advise? What can they do?
Okay, so the first thing I will say, like Yeti said, is not just to jump on the bandwagon. You need to ask yourself, is this really what I want? Don't come into this career just because you want to travel abroad. If that is your reason, if that is your sole purpose, I will say you are in the wrong place, because I will not encourage that. I will always tell people the truth. I'm not someone to sugarcoat things, because the truth is that working as a healthcare, in the healthcare field, whether as an assistant, as a nurse, as a doctor, it's not just a career, it's not just a profession, it's a calling, it's a vocation, it's something that you need to really be inspired to do, because you are taking care of people, you are giving people care, you are helping people at their most vulnerable moment. So the first thing you need to ask yourself is this really what I want to do? I'm sure most of the people that are watching me are adults, so I don't think we have a lot of 16 or 17-year-olds that are just fresh out of secondary school and looking for a new career. So I'm talking to career changers, I'm talking to moms and dads, I'm talking to adults, I'm talking to professionals that are looking to have a career switch. Bearing in mind that you're going to be doing this job for at least 5
years.
Expectation is that you will be in this job for 5 years. So it's not a quick fix. It's not something like you're coming on a student visa and after that you can think of what next to do. It's going to be your career path. So let's take a hypothetical case that you are 35 years old, or you are 30 or even 40. So you're going to do this for the next 5 years of your life, half a decade. Is this something you really want to do? So I want you to be true to yourself, because people's lives are going to be in your hands. You're going to have to spend a 12-hour shift taking care of people. So please make sure it's something you've thought about, it's something you're passionate about, and it's something that you want to do. So having said that, the first step in changing this career, or in, having this career path, like I said, is to have a hard and long thought and to tell yourself the truth. If you have spoken to yourself, because there are also many other career paths that I'm going to be running a series with Yeti. So this is just the first in our series, and it's the healthcare. So we're going to talk about IT, business, and others as well, maybe once every 2 weeks. But for now, we are focusing on the healthcare. So bearing in mind that The healthcare is for people that are passionate, people that are caring, are people that want to do this on a long term. So the healthcare is just one step. So I've had many people tell me that, can I transition into becoming a nurse or a doctor in future? Absolutely yes. So if you want to change career, there is no better place or path to start than the healthcare. So you don't have to remain in the healthcare for all those 5 years, because I'm a strong believer in progression, in self-development. So you can come in and start as a senior carer, which I would advise anybody relocating internationally to do. Because as a healthcare assistant or as a caregiver, you do not really need any qualification if you're already in the UK. So the truth is that you do not need even the care certificate if you are in the UK, because your employer will train you. So if you're already resident in the UK, I don't know how many of us are familiar with the UK educational system. So if you are born and or brought up and you grew up in the UK, it is compulsory that you have an education up to your GCSE level. So the government will fund your education up to your secondary level. GCSE is equivalent to WAEC. So after GCSE, you decide whatever you want to do. So statistics have it that about 60 to 70% of the population do not progress to a higher degree. Some of them go on to an apprenticeship, or some of them will just go straight into job. So the UK population, the education or the literacy, the compulsory literacy goes up to GCSE. So having said that, you have about 60 to 70% of the population that they can employ as normal carers. So what is the benefit or the incentive or the motivation for a company to want to employ someone from abroad? And that is what brings me to the senior carer role. So you have your HCA or your junior carer or your normal carer, which is your entry position, that you do not need a care certificate, you do not need anything. Your company will train you, they will give you an induction when you get to the care home or when you get to the hospital. But that is very useful for people that are already in the UK. But guys, you're applying from abroad, you're applying from India, you're applying from Kenya, from Zimbabwe, from Ghana, from Nigeria, from other countries, and you are in the pool of international applicants. So the way a hiring manager or a recruiter looks at you and the way they view your CV is different from someone that is living 5 miles down the road or 2 miles down the road. They don't need to spend any money for Miss Smith that is just down the road. If Miss Smith works for 2 weeks and she doesn't like the care home, she can decide that she no longer wants to work. She can that this is not the career that she wants to do. She can take a break. She can stop work. She's going to get job seekers allowance. She's going to get universal credit. So you can't compare yourself to someone that is already in the UK. So now a recruiter or a hiring manager looks at you in two different ways. Because hiring Miss Smith that lives down the road is not going to cost them any money. It's not going to cost them much money or very little. But hiring you from abroad is going to cost them the healthcare surcharge, it's going to cost them COS, it's going to cost them a license, it's going to cost them a whole lot of money, running into thousands of pounds. So they are a care company or a care home is going to spend money to recruit someone from overseas. So there needs to be a business case. Why should I recruit Kemi or BC or Chioma or someone from South Africa? Why do I need to recruit you? So you need to be able to prove to the care home why they need to recruit you. You should not only meet their minimum requirements, but you should exceed their minimum requirements. So people just look at the minimum requirements and say, okay, I can read English, I can write, and I have the care certificate, of which is not even really care certificate because you did a free course on Florence. On Allison, you think you have the care certificate, and you
without practical experience.
Without practical experience, you just go and pour your ignorance on your CV, and the hiring manager looks at your CV and just dumps it on a pile or just puts it in the bin. So you need to be able to distinguish yourself, to say, okay, I have this skill, I have this skill, I have this skill, that go beyond, over and beyond the minimum requirements of that role. And that is how you grab the attention of the hiring manager to hire you. So take, for example, I have a job in front of me from Track Job. I pulled out this job because one thing is that many people don't even know how to search for these jobs. They are searching the wrong way. So one of the things that I'm going to be, showing you how to do and teaching you how to do is how to search for job as an international applicant.
So don't go anywhere. You all should stay tuned.
So I pulled out this job. That offers sponsorship. And just hang on with me. I'm going to read out some things, some requirements of this job. And I've been receiving so many people asking me to review their CV. So they've been asking me, oh, please, can you review my CV for me? And I look at the CV. Of course, it doesn't meet the... So let me read this job. So this job, I won't call the name of the company or the name of the trust. It's for the role is for a senior nursing assistant theaters. So you want to look for these roles. These are the kind of roles. These are specialist roles. These are not roles that anybody in the UK that just have a GCSE can do. These are not roles that the UK populace can fill. These are roles that they need a specialist. You may not be a nurse, you may not be a nursing associate, but you need to be someone at the cadre of a band 3 or a high senior nursing assistant. So senior nursing assistant theaters. Band 3, following successful completion of the level 3 perioperative apprenticeship or alternative competency program. So if you don't meet these basic requirements, don't bother applying. Just don't bother. You're going to waste your data. You're going to waste your 30 minutes or 1 hour. You know how difficult it is to make these applications, and you are not going to get the role. So now let's look at the job purpose. The purpose of this job is to contribute to the efficient running of theaters, assist registered practitioners and the multidisciplinary team, ensuring that a high quality service is delivered to patients and their families. So can you see? So scope, the post holder will observe practices and work fully supervised until assessed as competent within the agreed protocols and guidelines set out within their competency packages. So even though they are going to train you, even though they are not going to allow you to start working until they train you, because that is the standard in the UK. However, you need to meet a basic requirements. So if you go and read the main duties and responsibilities of this job, you cannot have this knowledge if you have not trained. You cannot have this knowledge if you have not trained, if you have not worked in a proper standard hospital, if you have not gone through the level 3 program. So when people are saying that it's so hard to get a care job, people are getting these jobs every day, but they are not getting the jobs as ordinary healthcare assistants. They are mostly getting the job as senior carers or maybe nurses that are stepping down to the role of senior carers. Because like I said to you, it makes a business case to employ someone that can assist in giving intravenous fluids, that can set up an IV line, someone that can give injection, someone that can empty the catheter, someone that can do blood infusion. You don't have to be a nurse, but if you really train as a senior carer or as a nursing assistant, these are some requirements that they expect that you should have. So when I'm interviewing someone, I can tell that you do not have a clue. You've just read or you've just been told, and I'm not going to hire you. So I hope I've not, gone off or dabbled off. So I'll Yeti to continue to take over. So bottom line, just to recap and round up what I've said, is that you need to invest in yourself. There are huge opportunities, but not just for the basic caregiver. If you are at the basic caregiver level, you may struggle. But if you are ready to invest in yourself and go a step higher, because this thing is like a pyramid. So can you see the way a pyramid goes? So up the pyramid, there are few people, but at the bottom of the pyramid, there is a lot of people. There are lots of people. So it's your decision, it's your choice. Do I want to remain at the bottom of the pyramid, or do I want to invest in myself and go up? Yeti, how many people in the UK have a level 3, NVQ3? How many people? There are people that have been working as HCAs for 10, 20 years. They have not gotten these qualifications. So you are going to be among the few. You are going to be one of the few that have upgraded themselves. And there is no way you invest in yourself that you're not going to get a return on your investments. So the choice is yours. Do I just sit down and keep applying with the pool of people at the bottom of the pyramid, or do I move myself up to the top of the pyramid? So the choice is yours. The choice is yours. So I'll hand over to Yeti to. Yeah.
Thank you, Laura, for that. So my next question will flow from what you just said. So how do we invest in ourselves? What can we do? How does Grammatorial come into place? What can we really do to, help and assist people from Nigeria without any healthcare background that really, really, really are passionate about this job, not just for jackpot's sake, maybe for jackpot, but not the main reason.
Okay.
But how can they invest in themselves? What can they do?
Thank you very much, Yeti. I can see so many people are asking the question. So the first thing I would say, I will always use myself as an example. So when I finished my master's, I did my master's. I finished from Imperial College. I did my I came to scholarship. So when I finished my master's, I was teaching during my master's. I was teaching, and I'm so passionate about helping people. I'm so passionate about showing people the goal, the signboard, say that's the way, follow that way. That's always been my passion. So I was teaching and I really wanted to teach. But I noticed that, man, this teaching is not going to give you your sponsorship. So I have to say, okay, I studied engineering. How can I develop myself? So I was looking at jobs. So every time I'm viewing jobs on LinkedIn or on Indeed or all this site, I will see that the jobs require people that have skills in AutoCAD. They require skills in Civils 3D, Start Pro, Orion. I had to write down the list of all those trainings, of all the software that the job required. Then I looked at myself and I looked at the job requirements. I knew that this was the gap. And I'd been applying and I've been getting rejection. No. I was so depressed. And one day I just dropped my children off at school. I went straight into the house. I started to apply for AutoCAD training. I was applying for Orion training, Start Pro training. And then the first application I made for AutoCAD training, it was a very nice Indian girl. She called me and she said, Laura, £25 an hour. At that time, 2012. £25 an hour just for one software, AutoCAD training. And I asked her, Halima, how many hours do I need? She said, you need at least, I would say, a minimum of 20 hours to get you up to scratch. And then the rest is yours. You need to start practicing. I said, okay, let's do this. So we started. It took me about 2 weeks to cover that 20 hours. And after the 20 hours, so it cost about 500. I think she gave me some discount. So I paid her just less than £500. Then I went for the second training and the third training. And immediately I got the training. I put it into my CV, updated my LinkedIn profile, and bam, by the time I woke up the next morning, the whole place exploded. I was receiving phone calls. And the rest is history now, how I got my sponsorship. So Yeti asked me that how can you invest in yourself in the area of healthcare? So all these jobs that I've just brought out a lot of jobs. Number one, don't look for band 2 jobs because there are enough people to fill band 2 roles in the UK. There are lots of students on tier 4 visas. There are lots of people, student dependents, that will fill that role. So my first advice to you is don't apply for band 2 roles. You're not going to get traction. You're not going to get hired. So I advise that you apply for band 3 roles. And to apply for band 3 roles, you need a level 3 diploma or equivalent to the NVQ3. So what is the NVQ3 or the level 3 diploma? I'm just going to pull out one of the specifications of the level 3 diploma. It's an Ofqual regulated diploma. By Ofqual, I mean the Office for Qualification. So it's the UK national government office that regulates all qualifications. So it's like something like in Nigeria, what would the equivalent be? Is it West African Examination Board? Or the Department of Education? So is the office that regulates all qualifications in the UK. So these courses are actually accredited in the UK. So it's a global qualification. It's like what you go to school to go and learn. but it's coming to your doorsteps. So this qualification, we have the Health and Social Care Level 3 Diploma, we have the Adult Care Level 3 Diploma, and most of the jobs that, I will be releasing, they require minimum of Band 3. And once you start to apply for Band 3 roles, you will see that you will start to get interviews and calls. So the Health and Social Care Diploma, is like I said, is regulated and accredited, and it takes up to 1 year to gain this qualification. But we are going to be offering it on a fast track basis, 3 months, because I know that so many people are working, so many people don't have that time to waste for 1 year. If you were in the UK, it will take you up to 1 year. But we are allowed by the accrediting body to run it on a fast track for 3 months, as far as the student is ready to commit their time. So it's a vocational qualification, meaning that you need work experience as well as theoretical knowledge. So you're not just going to be studying online. No, you need to have hands-on experience. You need to really be working in a hospital. So some of the mandatory units in this course is, for example, duty of care in care setting, health and safety in a care setting, handling information, infection prevention and control, mental capacity and restrictive practices, person-centered practice, safeguarding. So there's a lot of mandatory units. I can't go through all, but some of the clinical units that are invaluable to hospitals and care homes are: number one, administer medication to individuals and monitor the effects. This is one of the units. You know that it's high people like nurses or nursing associates that administer medication. So this is quite a high qualification. Assess the needs of carers and their families. Then we have what we call phlebotomy. So for those that are in the medical field, phlebotomy is the process of extracting blood. So when you put an IV line and then you extract blood. So as a level 3 health carer or as a level 3 diploma holder, you would be taught how to, do set up IV lines, how to take blood, and how to administer drips. So that's part of this course. So there's a whole load of clinical units that you'll be expected to also undergo. And as grammatorial education and training, we have partnered with hospitals. So if you live in Nigeria, we have hospitals in Lagos, we have hospitals in Kaduna, we have hospitals that we have partnered in where you can go and
we can't hear you.
Can you hear me now? Hello?
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Now we can hear you. We could not before.
Okay, good. So we are partnered with hospitals where you can do your training to get all the clinical aspects. It's going to be a bit of a challenge to learn how to, to take blood or to administer drip in 3 months. But if you are very committed and if you are fast, you can get it. So to be registered on this course, you do not need a degree if you don't have one. All you need is a minimum of a C6 in your WAEC or your secondary school leaving for people that are not residents in Nigeria. So you need a minimum of a pass in English and maths, and then you can come on straight to this course. So we offer the level 3 diploma as a blended learning. So we have some sessions that we taught online, and then we have face-to-face session. So we have the blended learning option, but the work experience in a hospital is a must, and we will place. Sorry.
Hello guys, can you hear her? Because I can't hear.
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yes, great.
Okay, somebody is asking if we have hospitals in Ibadan. Not at the moment. NECO is accepted, yes. NECO is accepted. Somebody said they work as a support worker for the NHS. Oh, that's very good. So there's a lot of opportunities in the NHS. Please make sure you grab those opportunities with both hands. Okay, so I don't know if I've answered your question. I was distracted for a bit.
Yes, it was the network. You've answered the question. So I can also see that people are trying to, you mentioned band 3, band 2. Yeah. People are not really following with that band. So how can you explain this in a very simple way?
Okay, so the way the banding system works in the NHS. So the NHS is like the National Health Service for the United Kingdom. They monitor all the public, the public hospitals and the public care homes. So they work with banding. So band 2, as a band 2 healthcare assistant or carer or support worker, you are the entry level. So you can stay on band 2 for 2 years, 3 years. So band 2 is just someone that has a basic WAEC, NECO or GCSE. So GCSE and WAEC are equivalent to a level 2 in the UK. So that's their equivalent qualification. So if you have no experience of healthcare, no experience of caregiving, you will start as a band 2. So like I explained earlier, for the benefit of those that just joined us, there is a huge proportion of the UK population that are just level 2 holders. They stopped at their GCSEs. So they're always going to have an influx of band 2 workers. So Daisy that lives down the road, Florence, Beatrice, they're going to have an influx of band 2 workers. So they're not necessarily going to be looking to hire international band 2 workers. So from my experience, they usually hire international staff from band 3 and above. So band 3 is equivalent to an OND or a diploma in nursing, or the level 3 diploma we're talking about, or NVQ3. That's the equivalent of a band 3. So for you to get a role or to get employed as a band 3 staff or as a senior carer, you need to have a minimum of a diploma in nursing or an NVQ3 in health and social care. So I hope I've answered the question.
Yes. Okay, another person is asking, what is that? I should ask you what blended learning option means.
So blended learning is a kind of learning where we combine online learning and face-to-face learning. So for people that are very busy, they have a business, they have children, they have lives that they cannot commit to coming into classes every day, we run evening classes online for them on Zoom. So thank God for technology. We have a virtual learning environment with the course, and then you can go into your virtual learning environment, download materials, you can study on your own, but we need to meet a minimum requirement for guided learning. So we must also guide your learning by tuition, work experience, and practical, learning. So your guided learning hours comprises of your work experience in the hospital, which is a minimum of 3 times a week for you to be able to learn all these skills of a nursing assistant. And then you're going to have 1 day a week where you have face-to-face learning in class. So we have center in Lagos, we're setting up a center in Port Harcourt, and we also have a center in Kaduna. So if you live around any of these 3 metropolitan zones, then you can join any one of our centers. Most people have been coming from far and wide. I even heard there is a girl here, I don't know if you are here, she's coming from Cyprus. Yeah, she said she found us through Yettysplash and she's traveling from Cyprus to join Lagos batch. Yes, she's traveling from Cyprus. So Lagos is like the place where many people have relations, family and friends. So people have come from Port Harcourt, from Owerri, from Enugu, from different places to join in Lagos. So you can find an accommodation or somewhere to stay. It's just 3 months and you're going to be very busy. So blended learning is a mixture of online learning and face-to-face learning, just to answer your question.
Okay, wow, thank you. So now the take home I can get from this is that you're not just teaching like practical theory, you're also teaching practical, meaning you'll be able to do all these things yourself. And the good thing about practical classes is that even if you're being interviewed, you know this thing because you practicalize it. So when they tell you, how do you empty this, how do you empty that, you won't be thinking, I didn't read that in a book, because you actually did it. So you'll be able, wow, thank you so much, Grammatorial, for that. So guys, please start pumping your questions. This is the person that can answer everything about relocating from Nigeria to the UK. And don't forget to follow our Andu Grammatorial Education on this live right now, please. If you have any questions, don't come to my DM, please. Help me just go to her DM. She will be there to answer. And also she has a Telegram group. I think the link is also on our bio as well. So click that link. The Telegram group is superb. Every day they post job opportunities, every day. So even if you're smart, you'll be able to apply for jobs there every day. So guys, please start dropping your questions. Okay, someone is asking, please ask her when she will open in Abuja. Small.
So right now, if you're in Abuja, if you can make it to Kaduna, we are in Kaduna South. If you can make it to Kaduna, we are in Kaduna South.
Yeah, please repeat the 3 geopolitical zones that we can find grammatorial service in Lagos.
You can find us in Port Harcourt. Port Harcourt is going to be starting with the November batch. You can find us in Kaduna. Kaduna is up and running, and you can find us in Lagos for now this year. Next year, we may, go into Benin, into Warri, Delta State, and other areas. But for now, these are the 3 areas where we are located. Lots of people asking about Abuja.
Yes, a whole lot. I can see Abuja. And your IG name. She's on this live. Her IG name. Please, can you just type it for them? Or even if you check my caption, you will definitely see that the post I made about this, I already tagged there as well. So it's at Grammatorial Education.
I'm not a social media person. It's Yeti that dragged me to social media. I'm not a social media person at all. It's Yeti. So I got to social media Yeti. Help me to thank her.
Okay. No problem.
My Telegram group, I have a Telegram group, is just 3 weeks old, or 2 weeks. It's not up to 3 weeks, it's about 2 weeks plus old. And my Instagram page is very new, because we've been doing this for the past 10 years, but we've been doing it word of mouth. But we're just coming out now to help more people.
Yeah, so please join the Telegram circle. If you check up there's bio, you're going to see the link there. I will advise you just join the Telegram circle, because she might not be able to respond to everybody at once, because that way how will she go to work and things like that. She also have a life outside of this. So please join the Telegram circle. I know she's very active. I know they post job there every time. I know that there is no way you ask a question and somebody, even a community member, most of them are now gurus, they will quickly provide answer, maybe because she has provided the answer before, so they will just tell you that, oh, see this, see that, like she already said it. So please, so do you want to talk about the training again? Because people are also asking about the training.
Yeah,
and somebody is saying, sorry, is it adult care level 3 something QRF or something? So just clarify the training.
Okay. So many people are saying they already have the level 3. So many people have been sending me their certificate from Allison and Florence. Just to let you know that Allison and Florence are just knowledge based. They are just for learning. They are not certified qualifications. So you can't carry Allison and go to University of Southampton and say, I finished from Allison, I want to use this. It doesn't carry any UCAS points. It doesn't carry any credit. It doesn't carry any weight. It's just for your own knowledge and information. But the course that we're actually offering, they have ROQF. Yes, ROQF is the UK recognized qualifications. So our courses are accredited by the Ofqual, which is the UK regulating body. And we are accredited partners to provide this course. So you're going to get a proper certificate. If your certificate does not have that mark of Ofqual or ROQF, it's not a real certificate. So you're going to have a certificate that can be validated anywhere, any day, anytime. You will have a certificate you can use to apply for higher learning. So maybe, for example, you want to use this certificate, this diploma qualification, to apply to the nursing degree in the UK. It's going to be recognized by UCAS. It carries about 58 or 65 points. I think one of them is 65 points. The adult care is 65 points and the health and social care is 58 points, or the other way around. But they actually carry UCAS points. So we have different pathways with this diploma. So one pathway is you can get your COS very fast, within 6 months. You can try this. I will be live with Yeti at least for the next couple of months. I'm going to be coming here. And I believe that we'll be taking testimonies here.
Amen.
I'll be bringing testimonies here. I'll be bringing people to come and speak. We'll be sharing testimonies. So you can try it. You can try it. You will do it and you'll get your COS. So that's just one of the pathways. Another pathway is that some people have said to me, Laura, you know what? I just want to progress in the healthcare line. I want to become a registered nurse. This qualification will give you a guaranteed entry into the last year, 1 year top up to get your dental nursing degree, your dental nursing qualification. and you will have your registered status with the General Dental Council in the United Kingdom. That is another pathway. The third pathway is that this could lead you to the level 4 or 5. So you can decide that, level 3, let me go and do level 5. And as a level 5 MVQ or diploma holder, guys, it means that you can become a registered care manager. After you get your level 5, you can go and register as a care manager. And care managers are scarce in the UK. Care managers are in high demand. So leave this level of healthcare assistant. There is no healthcare assistant job. It is flooded. It is flooded. Move up, move yourself up. You will get a job as a care manager direct from Africa straight to the UK. Care homes, they are waiting for you with relocation package. You don't need to pay anybody for COS. Many people are asking how much for COS. We don't sell COS. We show you how to get it.
They still don't believe.
We empower you to get it. People are getting it. Please, don't be scammed. Don't be desperate. Put in effort. Work hard. I've used myself as an example. I've told you what I did. I did the AutoCAD training, just less than £500. I started the second training before I could finish. As far back as 2000 and how many years ago? 2012. I got a call. God bless that man. Said, Laura, come and start work. £250 a day. £250 a day for what I spent less than £500 to train myself. You cannot. I can go to church and say, oh, praise the Lord, testimony time, overcomers time. God gave me a new job. How did you?
You got it by putting in the work. Someone is asking if the diploma is recognized in New Zealand. I think we're talking about UK here, but I don't know if you want to answer that.
Okay, thank you very much for that question. This is a globally recognized degree, globally. So whether you are going to US, whether you are going to Canada, whether you are going to Australia or the Republic of Ireland, it is recognized. However, I'm going to give you a caveat. When you come in on this course, I cannot help you with any advice for jobs in anywhere outside of the UK and Ireland. Because this is where I live. This is where I can pick up the phone and make a call. This is where I know how to research. This is where I know how to communicate with people. So if you come on the course, there is a week during the course. There is a week where we are going to be doing CVs, cover letters, interview preparation, and job applications. So imagine if you want to go to US or New Zealand and I'm doing job application for UK. I don't even know how they write. I know the limits of my expertise and my knowledge. I know as a professional, I know my limits. So any country outside of the UK and Ireland is outside of my limits. But the qualification will be recognized. To answer your question, it is actually globally recognized.
Okay, someone is also asking, I've seen like 10 comments about, please, those of us living in the UK, what can we do? Please, those of us as dependents, what can we do? Those of us are dependent to our partner who is on a student visa and want to also, get into this field so that we can get, sponsorship for our partners and things like that. What can we do? So,
okay. So very good question. So one of the simple advice I will give you to break, this chain of getting rejections or not getting, the COS is don't apply for band 2. Don't apply for normal carer role. You could get it, you may get it, but there will be really no opportunity to progress in those roles. So I would say one surefire way, guaranteed route to getting this is to apply as a band 3. To apply to the NHS. The NHS, there are some NHS trusts, not all. There are some NHS trusts that are really recruiting massively. They have COS. Let me just say something about the COS. I don't know if you guys know about defined and undefined COS.
No, please tell us.
Okay, so defined COS, you have a defined COS whereby you cannot apply. That COS is allocated for people outside of the country, outside of the UK. And they give a defined number. So, for example, they may allocate care home A, grammatorial care, for example, I'm just using a hypothetical case, they could allocate you with 20 COSs. And once that defined number finishes, you cannot employ someone from outside the UK. You need to go and apply. And they could give you more or not. But undefined means that you have this allocation to apply for people already in the UK. So if you are already in the UK, it makes it more easier for you to get a COS. A COS is a certificate of sponsorship. It's a number. I've seen so many people asking on Yeti group, they want a sample certificate. What do you want a sample certificate?
It's dumb.
You want to go to what's the name of this place in Lagos? To go and forge.
Oluwole.
Come on, Oluwole. You want to use it to say, Yeti, send me sample certificate of sponsorship. Certificate of not sponsorship is not a certificate, please. It's a number. So with that number, you use it to apply for your skilled worker visa. Okay? So with the certificate of sponsorship, if you are in the UK, it's easier. But my advice is apply for band 3 roles. And to apply for a band 3 role, you need the level 3 diploma, which brings us back to the level 3 diploma. If you are in the UK, you can do it in the UK. We actually have Grammatorial Limited in the UK. It's a UK and Nigeria. Our headquarters is in the UK and Nigeria is just a branch. So you can get in touch with any one of our reps and tell them that you are interested in running the course. You are in the UK. So we arrange and organize for you to have it in the UK. So we run the course in the UK as well.
Yeah, because I was just about to read this question that says that, is there no training for those already in the UK as dependent? Yeah, so if you're in the UK and you're a dependent to someone, no problem. In fact, it's even very good for you to, start so that before your student visa expires, there will be no need for you to be on your partner's post-study work visa. And the thing is, post-study work visa costs about 2,000. So imagine if you do this training and you're able to move. Yeah. Not only is it that you've saved yourself two of you will be £4,000. So you've saved yourself a whole lot of money. That's one. Then two, your ILR start counting immediately. Because post-study work visa, which I know of and I also applied for, it does not still count towards your immigration. So at the end of post-study, you still have to think, what can I do? So if this message is directed to those with dependents in the UK, if you know that you have passion for this care job and you want to do it for that 5 years, just to, the thing with UK is really sweet, but then the immigration status can make it frustrating. It's so frustrating when you're like, oh God, my visa is expiring in 5 days. What will I do? But with this health and care visa, you're sure that 5 years after you're getting your ILR and switching career if you want to. There's this group I belong to. It's called Lawyers in the UK because I have a legal background. We are lawyers from Nigeria and now in the UK. And I've seen lots of people on that group. They'll tell you that their partner is this and that. They're just doing that care for 5 years. Once they get their ILR, they switch and go back to. So sometimes in life, you have to sacrifice some things to just make some. You know your end goal and you know your plan. And this is also a career that you can actually do and progress, like she said. Imagine yourself becoming a dental nurse. Do you know how much your salary will be? It will be way better than whatever you imagine. So, and at the end of the day, you get your ILR, citizenship, and the life for your kids. I can't even mention it. So please, if you're here, this is particularly to those with dependent, because I feel like things are much more easier for you people than us that we come in just ourselves to also in this UK. You and your partner should sit down, strategize. Okay, let's do this. Let me go on this training before the expiration of your 1 year. This is what I have a plan. Talk to Grammatorial, let them actualize it for you. Even before your partner's student visa expire and you're already in the UK, you'll be sure to switch to a tier 2 visa fast. So we have to be smart about this thing. We have to come to this abroad and be smart and not just come then at the end we are not crying, we are going back home. How can you even come here and go back home unless you want to? Let it not be a situation where lack of proper planning is what is sending you back home. No, please. So keep dropping your questions. This live was meant to be for 30 minutes, but it's so power-packed and I'm so happy. We're almost spending 1 hour. So we have 9 more minutes to go.
9
minutes.
Wow.
Some people said I need answer. Ask your question. This thing is just going. I might not be able to say everything. So please, if you also want to help me check, Laura, any question you want to answer, please feel free to answer any.
What is the advantage of skills worker visa?
But I just listed some of it now. If you're on a skilled worker visa, that means you're on an indefinite leave pathway, meaning you can get your indefinite leave to remain in the UK. That means after 5 years, you no longer need permission from the UK government. You know, your visa no longer needs to expire because you applied for your ILR. And once you have that, it's almost as though you are a citizen if you don't want to even apply for British citizen, because you have inflow. You know, you can come in, you can go out of the UK as you please. Your visa will never expire. And then there's some benefit for your children if you're on an ILR pathway as well. I've covered this in so many of my videos, but this is about health and care. So let's not change it.
Health. Don't worry, we're going to have many more. Like I said, we're going to be doing this. This is not just a one-off. So we're going to have other lives where we'll touch on other topics and subjects as well. So for now, somebody asked the question and the person said, when are we having this training? So we have a training that will be starting on the 24th of October, which is on Monday in Lagos. We have one starting in Lagos on Monday and in Kaduna on Monday. And then the next cohort will be in November. Just let me pull out the dates for the November cohort. So after the October cohort, the November cohort is starting on Monday the 14th of November. So if you are joining the second group, you will start on Monday the 14th of November. So Port Harcourt will have November cohorts, Kaduna will have November cohorts, and Lagos. If you are in Abuja, go and pray hard if you want November too. So if we see there's a lot of interest, if we see we have interest in Abuja, we can consider starting a cohort with the November batch in Abuja.
Okay, thank you. Someone is asking, if I get you and eventually get a job, can I bring my spouse as dependent? Have you not been following us? Of course you can. Not just your husband, your children can relocate with you as well. That's what we have been saying since. Like, it's a family relocation plan. If you want to, if you have your partner, they can always come. All of you asking how much. Send a message to Grammatorial, call them, send a WhatsApp message. They will definitely respond to you. This live is just to share like the information, let everybody know about it. Just message them. It's not hard. It won't cost you anything. We have this live, we have this information. Then if you're truly interested, then you will just go to their DM and send them a message. It's that simple. It is really that simple. I saw a very funny question. So how much is 3-tier diploma? It's not.
What?
It's not tier 3 diploma. Someone is calling it tier 3 diploma.
Level 3. Yeah.
Level 3.
You can also do level 4, level 5 if you want. So some people are saying I've done level 3. So with your level 3, you can progress. You will get a job where you did your training. They're supposed to help you. So those people that are asking that they've done level 3 is ATHE. I'm so sorry you did not do you didn't do your training in the right place. For my cohort that is starting on the 24th of October, I brought in a NHS guru, someone that has worked in the NHS for almost more than half a decade, to come and talk to them for 1 hour yesterday. We spent 1 hour giving them a pre-briefing. And I said to them, we are with you all the way. We are not just going to register you for the course and run away. I've heard of so many people that did this course, yet you won't believe they don't even know what they did. They don't know what is off-car. They don't know if they are having so many problems. They didn't do practical. And I'm saying that how can you do this course without doing practicals? So people are like, I always say to people, do your due diligence before you buy into anything. Even what we are telling you here, go and research if what we are saying is true or if it's not true. If it's not true, then you can leave it. But if it's true, at least I've mentioned band 3. Go and type band 3 job and see how COS will be popping up. At least we have given information. So he that has ears, let him hear. We've said things tonight too. We've said things tonight. So it's all about, I will reiterate what I said, a pyramid system. At the bottom, it's so wide, and at the top, so narrow. Yeah. So how many consultants do you have in the UK? There are few. They are in high demand. But how many workers do you have? So many. So it's you that will determine where you will be, where you want to place yourself. So Florence and Alice, somebody asked about Florence and Alice. I mentioned it before. As a recruiting manager, looking at a CV with Florence and Alice is just going to the bottom of my pile. Florence and Alice, they are knowledge-based. Number one, let me say something about the care certificate. The care certificate is not given by Florence. It's given by Skills for Care England. Go and search up these things. Skills for Care England, they are the ones that regulate the care certificates. And you cannot get the care certificate without being assessed. So you don't read for the care certificate. You take the care certificate as a practical learning experience. And you need to have an assessor, a qualified assessor, that will assess you and sign you that this person meets the minimum competency for the care certificate before you are issued with the care certificate. And that comes from Skills for England. There is a logbook, there is a training book, there are so many things. It's all there, it's on their website. Go and check them out. But you cannot buy it, you cannot pay for it. You need to get it with a recognized, accredited, partner or assessor. And the care certificate lasts for 1 year. So if you did it in 2020, if you are in the UK as a carer, you need to do it every year. You need to keep renewing it every year. Alison and Florence are just learning based. They are e-learning courses, or maybe CPDs at the best. They are not recognized qualifications. Thank you.
And someone is asking again, do you help with job placement? It's blended learning. You will definitely have an hospital where she's going to, put you in that you'll be able to learn the practical experience. That is why it is called a blended learning course. Someone is asking what dependency means, please. Is it extended to wife and children, or to your sister, brother, for you Kuku had cousin, nephew, great grand. It's just your wife and your children. That's your dependent. Your wife and your children, your nuclear family, not extended family. Someone is asking that I'm fresh from school. Can I jump on this course? Of course, if you're fresh from secondary school and you're not even sure what you want to do, definitely, this is something you should lay your hands on. What about someone that doesn't have any degree in Nigeria? That's what I'm saying. You don't need a degree at all. What she said is that you need your WAEC, which is you must have a C in maths and English in your WAEC, and that's all that you need. School living certificate, and that is all that you need. When do we have cohorts in Benin and all this? Little by little, don't worry. We are going global. It will be 36 by God's grace. 36 states with different grammatorial services there. So don't worry. But guys, if you are truly serious about this, I think you should send a message to Grammatorial Education. I just pinned their handle. I was going to delete this slide because too much information has been shared, but I will not delete it. I'll post it on my page. Put their information there so that if you want to revisit it or you want to think of anything that has been said, then you can have it. We've spent 1 hour. I don't think we can ever answer everybody's questions. So is there any final word you have for us? Like, just to recap everything you've been saying in like 5 minutes, what grammatorial services can do, just everything in like 5 minutes for those who joined late.
Okay, so just to recap, I want to say that
I'm so sorry, please. And also tell those that are in the UK how they can get in touch, because a whole lot of them have been saying, how can I get in touch? I live in UK. Yes.
Right, yeah. So thank you so much, Yeti. First, I want to thank you for this wonderful opportunity. I really appreciate you. I remember we said we're going to, help some of if you come from Yettysplash, we're going to pick randomly, maybe 2 of Yeti's favorite, Yeti will ask 2 of people that always comment and, always share.
Active followers.
Going to give Yeti's active followers some scholarship. So if you are if you're an active follower and you are interested in this course, please get in contact with Yeti and we have a special deal for you. We're going to give you a very huge discount. So please get in touch with Yeti, and Yeti will.
I know my active followers.
To take about on this course, because of course they are the ones that will come back with their testimonials, and we definitely need those testimonials. So I want to thank Yeti, and to every one of you that joined this live, thank you. May the Lord Almighty bless you. And just to recap what we have said is that the UK is still in shortage of healthcare workers, senior carers, and we said that there are still companies that have these defined and undefined COS for allocation. I've been speaking to a couple of them this week and last week, And they said to me, Laura, if we find the right candidates, we are going to employ them. But we do not want to employ a liability. We're not going to employ someone that cannot do the job. So they are looking for the right candidate. And that is why Grammatorial is here to help you be the right candidate. We're here to help you maximize your chances. We're not here to sell COS, please. If you're looking for COS seller, you've come to the wrong place. We're here to train you, to equip you, and to make you, stand out from a pool of candidates so that you can maximize your chances, get your COS, relocate to the UK, and come back on this platform to share your testimonies. So we're going to help those in the UK as well as those in Africa, India, wherever country you are. We're here to help you with the level 3, level 4, and level 5 diploma in healthcare. So you're just going to choose which one you want. We're starting, the course in Lagos is on the 24th of October if you want to register. Kaduna is on the 24th of October. And the 14th of November is going to be Port Harcourt, Lagos, and Kaduna. So please make sure you register. Call the numbers. We have the numbers. We have the flyers. Follow us on Grammatorial Instagram. Join our Telegram group and send a DM. If you send a DM, somebody will respond to you and give you more information. We have hospital placements ready for you in Lagos and Kaduna and Port Harcourt for those that will join in November. If you're already in the UK, get in touch with us. We will tell you how you can join in the UK as well. If you're in Ghana, Zimbabwe, South Africa, any other African country, or even in India, and you want to join, get in touch with us. We will explain to you how you can join online and how you can get a hospital placement in your area of residence. Thank you very much, Yeti. I really appreciate this time.
Thank you so much, guys. There are lots of questions, but again, we can't take everything. We just can't.
81. How long does the training last? 3 months fast track.
Yes, 3 months. 3 months. And if you're in the UK, you can also benefit. It's not just for. And someone is asking, how old is her service? I'm sure you missed the beginning. She would have told you how long she's been in this game.
Okay.
You can always watch back our replay of this video. Thank you guys so much. I'm so sorry if we did not answer your question, but it's 1 hour. 1 hour, guys. 1 hour already, and the number has been great from those that joined till now. It didn't know. Thank you guys so much.
Right.
Thank you for joining. Please just direct all your queries to Grammatorial Education. Direct all your queries to them. The flyer is on my page. Call them, WhatsApp them. I can vouch for them any day, anytime, because in 6 months want to be back taking testimony like she said. I want to come to the airport to pick somebody, because yes, Grammatorial is going to do that for you. So guys, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Laura. I appreciate your time as well. Thank you so much. Thanks, guys. See you in our next live.
See you in our next live. Bye. Bye.